Nearly every single Phase 4 show and movie have been terrible. They've had bad writing, mediocre CGI, mediocre acting, and all around have been forgettable experiences, except for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I've tried to give Phase 4 a fair chance, even though they've gone full MCU with it. And with their newest release, Ms. Marvel, it has been a complete failure for them because it has had the lowest premiere viewership of any Marvel series on Disney Plus. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Bounding into Comics article. It says Ms. Marvel reportedly opens to the lowest premiere viewership numbers of any Disney Plus Marvel series, and this isn't very surprising to me. It didn't seem like they knew who they wanted to market it towards. It doesn't seem like it had a very clear direction. It's not like there's any large names in this series. Overall, I don't think that there was anything to bring viewers in. Ms. Marvel is apparently struggling to embiggen itself within the hearts of viewers, as according to a new report, the young superheroine's solo outing has opened to the lowest viewership numbers of any of the Disney Plus MCU tie-in shows. It says on June 17th, television data analytics company Samba TV, whose data is aggregated from roughly 24 smart TV brands from countries around the world, including LG, Sony, and Sharp, announced that only 775,000 US households watched the premiere of Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus in its first 5 days. Now, it does point out that it drew in a more diverse audience, with Black, Hispanic, and Asian households watching at a higher rate, and the viewer ages 20 to 24 watched at a higher rate. But at the same time, while they are drawing in those more diverse audiences that they probably were hoping to, they're unfortunately not drawing in the other people that watch these other shows, okay? So let's hope that this was their plan, that they don't actually care about anyone else watching this series besides this group of individuals, this diverse audience that they've got, because other people aren't showing up to watch this series. It says, unfortunately, these numbers leave Ms. Marvel with the worst such numbers for any MCU-related TV series, as recorded by Samba TV. As per their insights, the premiere of Moon Knight, the most recent MCU series prior to Ms. Marvel, managed to pull in 1.8 million US households across its first 5 days. So we are seeing a drastic difference in numbers here. It says, traveling backwards, the small screen debut with Hawkeye, of course, drew in 1.5 million US households, with its second episode likewise managing to keep 1.3 million of those households in the same amount of time. And then we have something like Loki, with a massive 2.5 million US households, subsequently taking its currently held record as the most watched Marvel premiere on Disney Plus. So these other shows, compared to Ms. Marvel, have done so much better. Ms. Marvel's numbers look tiny compared to something like Loki, with 2.5 million US households in the same time frame. Now, it doesn't really surprise me that Ms. Marvel is doing so poorly. They didn't go into this wanting to make an amazing product. They wanted to be able to create a narrative around identity politics. She's a character that was created to bank solely on her identity and not her powers or backstory. And going on over to social media, I also wanted to show you all some of the problems that people have, particularly the fact that this show uses the term Latinx in the newest episode, and a lot of people are very mad at this. Somebody said the Miss Marvel show used Latinx. It's got almost 40,000 likes. Hispanics, when you call them a slur, it's a laughing, and then Hispanics, when you call them Latinx, this has over 160,000 likes. A lot of people are saying things like, reminds me of the Miss Marvel show where a character uses the word Latinx. The MCU went through all the ages of the comics: Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, and the shitty age of now. One minute you're watching the show and it feels like it's made for teens, and the next it's like it was made for adults. It doesn't have a consistent flow, which is another major issue with the series. A lot of people are pissed off at this, and I understand. People are furious with the fact that this show uses the term Latinx, which I get. It is a giant slap in the face to the Latinos and Latinas out there, because while Marvel thinks that it's fine to use, and the PC culture advocates want to push the term, many people view it as a slur, and it infuriates people when it's used. You'd think that they wouldn't use it, but hey, they think that it's a new term that people like when it's not. They have faced a ton of backlash over this now, and people just in general are not loving Miss Marvel. Out of 35,000 users who have rated this show, it is sitting at only a 6.1 out of 10 over on IMDb currently. And I wanted to read just a few of the user reviews. I'm not going to read many, but there are a lot of negatives here. A 5 out of 10, many 3 out of 10s. There are some more positive ones, like an 8 out of 10 here, but then it dips back to a 2 out of 10, a 3 out of 10, a 1 out of 10. The first 2 out of 10 review says disappointed. I expected a lot better from this show. Episode 1 was kind of okay, but the second one was just plain bad. It just kept dragging on and on. They were trying way too hard to keep it interesting, and nothing was exactly happening in the show. I will give it one more episode, and hopefully they will recover. A 1 out of 10. As a Pakistani, this is what they give us? Why not create a new character rather than offer a hand-me-down superhero persona? That aside, the dialogue is obnoxious, played on stereotypes at times, and lacked much depth to the character. So a 3 out of 10 says, I seriously have to wonder if being a modern teen would have helped. Don't get me wrong, I can still enjoy rewatching The Breakfast Club, Stand By Me, Donnie Darko, Ferris Bueller, and many others. It's possible to write characters who are teens seeing the world through the pubescent perspectives and still draw in both adults and current teens. The pilot of this show didn't do that. Maybe as the episodes go on, people will end up liking it more and more, and it will end up with decent review scores, but it opened to the lowest premiere viewership numbers of any Disney Plus Marvel series, and people are not very happy with the show currently. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.